Hey guys, my name is Pizzeh. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm actually going to be talking about how you can outlast opponents very fast. I'm going to be talking about what outlasting opponents actually means, because I know it can be confusing sometimes with these different challenges for the battle passes and different things like that. I know you guys are really enjoying these outlasting opponents fast, tearing up fast, leveling up fast, things like that, because on my last one I did like this. You guys dropped a ton of likes on it, so thank you so much for all that support. Before I get into the video though, I just want to say if you are new to my channel and you want to see a lot more of these tips and tricks videos so you can complete your battle pass faster, get to level 100 faster, complete weekly challenges faster, anything like that, make sure to subscribe down to my channel down below. And if you want to see more of these, make sure to drop a like and leave a comment if these tips end up helping you or not, because I want to go see if I'm actually helping people or not using this video. And let's go ahead and get into the tips. Now, the first thing I want to talk about here is what outlasting opponents actually means, because I know some of you guys can kind of get confused on these sort of things, because they can be kind of difficult to figure out when you first see them. What it actually means is to basically just survive longer than other players. So I'm going to set up a little scenario here. Say you're in a Fortnite solo game, you drop, you go somewhere, you end up dying, and it says you place number 50th. So you know in a normal Fortnite game, there's 100 people total in a game. So if you die 50th, that means 50 people died before you died. So that means you outlasted 50 people, since those 50 people died before you. So if you place number 99 in a game, that means you outlasted one person because one person died before you. So if it says to outlast, 25,000 people, because I know in some of the past seasons they've said to outlast 25,000. If it says to outlast 25,000, that means you have to play enough games and outlast 25,000 total players across a ton of different games. So that means you'd have to play a ton of games, outlast a ton of people, and obviously getting the first place, the victory royale, will give you the most outlast per game. If you get number 1, that means you'll outlast 99 people, since 99 people died before you died. So that's what it means. Just basically outlast people means just to out-survive them. So yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the tips here. The first tip I have is a very, very easy one to accomplish, but it's also one of the most useful ones and most productive ones towards outlasting opponents, and that is to just play as passive as possible. I know there's a lot of you out there who like to drop hot drops and just get a lot of kills, a lot of elims each game, just so you can get those high kill wins. But if you're planning on outlasting opponents, that is not what you want to do. You do not want to hot drop. You don't want to drop at new places or places that you know other people would be going. Mostly you want to drop just in the middle of nowhere, just kind of where nobody else is going to contest you, so you can loot up, get everything you need. And if you do see somebody, don't go for the kill. Even if you think you could get the kill, you don't want to take that chance with dying. You just want to go in to the game, you want to drop somewhere that's not a hot drop, get your stuff, and then just avoid people for as long as possible, because if you die 60th or so, that means you only outlast 40 people when you could have survived maybe 20 more spots, and then you could have outlasted 60 people that game instead. So just play as passive as possible. If you need to, hide in bushes, hide in huts, just kind of camp, do what you need to do to survive. Just do whatever. Don't try and fight people. Don't engage in any firefights. Don't shoot at people unless you're sure they won't fight back at you, or unless you're third partying. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into the next tip. So this next tip kind of plays off of being passive, because what you want to do is camp near the middle of the map. So if you don't want to even drop at any location, so you have 0 chance of dying right away off of spawn, what you want to do is drop near the middle of the map. Go find a bush or a hut or just anything you can sit in. Just hide there and sit there. And the reason we do this at the middle of the map is because the middle of the map has the highest chance of being in each circle. So if you go to the middle of the map, you will have less chance of having to rotate to a different circle. So you can just stay where you're at, outlast people without having to put in any work whatsoever. The next tip I have here is actually one that I've brought up in a lot of my other videos, because it is such an interesting tactic that you can perform that not a lot of people think of, not a lot of people do, and this tactic is called storm skipping. Now when you first hear about it, you're kind of like, whoa, what is this? I've never heard of this before. Storm skipping is actually what you want to do. This is how it works. So right when you go on the battle bus, right when the battle bus spawns, what you want to do is you want to jump out of the battle bus, but instead of gliding down to a location or towards the middle of the map or wherever you're going, you want to instantly deploy your glider. You want to sit there in the air and wait for the first circle to spawn. Now once the first circle spawns, what you want to do is you want to go to a location on the outer edge of that circle, or you can try and go to the center of that circle and hide in a bush there, because then you already know where that first circle is, so you don't have to worry about rotating for the first circle or anything like that. And then if you go to the middle of that one, then you can just wait for the next one to spawn, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. So you have to rotate less and have a less chance of dying. Therefore, you can outlast more opponents in each round, and that'll just help you a lot more. So definitely just sit up in the air, wait for the first circle to spawn, go to a passive area, more towards the edge of the circle if you want to just kind of like actually play the game, or if you just want to hide in a bush, just drop towards the center of that circle as long as it's not in a location. Hide in a bush, hide in a tree, hide in a building, anything like that, and just wait for people to die off so you can get those outlasting opponents points onto your challenges. Now, this next tip I have is actually going to be for some of you more aggressive players, some of you players who want to outlast a lot of people but also want to try and get a couple elims each game, whether you know you're outlasting a lot of people or not. So this one, what you want to do is you want to drop in a location near a populated area. So you could go and drop somewhere that's near a new area, somewhere that, you know, normally not too many people drop, but kind of near where a lot of people drop. So if you think about like past seasons, you could drop like Loot Lake near Tilted or anything like that. But if, you know, if there's new locations, anything like that, you can go drop there, near there, get a weapon, and go in third party some people, get some elims. And then if you die, just hop into a new match and try that again, or you can try some of the other tactics. And this can actually, if it turns out well, you could end up third partying the last person. You can swoop up all that loot, get out of there. You would have outlasted a lot of people, and you could have picked up an elim or two, maybe even 3 if you're lucky. And then if you die, you know what, you can go into a new match. Maybe you would have outlasted 20 people by then. And then just hop into a new match, you know, do the same thing over and over again until you can actually get a couple elims and survive longer into the game, and maybe even get that win there with a couple of kills on you instead of 0 or just 1. Now, a new tactic that I kind of picked up on while watching the Fortnite World Cup solos and duos is where pro players actually dropped, because you know, people that are playing in pro tournaments like the World Cup definitely are going to play differently than if they're just in a normal match. You know, if they're in a normal match, they might just rush people, try and get as many kills as possible, maybe get like 20 kill wins, anything like that. You know, they're just going to try their hardest to do as good as possible. But in these pro World Cup finals, things like that, they're going to play way more passive. They're going to try not to, you know, get a lot of elims or just rush people, because, you know, that increases their chances of dying, which would mean they lose points. They wouldn't get higher spots for more money. So what you want to do is you could go watch those World Cup streams past, you know, just go watch them and see where the pro players actually drop, because those pro players are actually going to drop at spots where they think less people are going to be, so they can loot up, get all the mats they need before they get attacked or anything like that. And so a lot of people would drop at more low-key areas, and you can look at them because they know where good loot spawns. All these pro players, they know where all the chest spawns are in a lot of these different areas. They know what kind of loot different areas can hold, and they know what kind of mats they can get at different areas, and they know if a lot of people are going to be dropping there or not. So you want to go in there, you want to go see where those pro players are dropping, you want to drop those same locations, kind of feel it out, see where the chest spawns are, see what kind of mats you can get there, how many mats you can get, and then go based off of that, so you can find really good low-key areas to drop every round and just kind of make it your own spot. You can take control of that spot every single round and just hope the circle spawns near there, so you can get maybe an elim or two if you know where all the chest spawns are, so you can have an advantage over other players. Or you can drop there, see that nobody else drops there, go there, get your loot, get your mats, everything like that, go third party some people, or go towards the middle of the map like I stated earlier, maybe hide in a bush until late game so you can third party, anything like that. And that's definitely what you want to try and do in these situations. Now, this last tip I have is actually one that can change a lot, because, you know, Fortnite can vault and unvault certain items. But what you want to do is, while you're looting up in your passive areas, you want to try and look for movement items. Those items can consist of, you know, just anything that helps you move faster. Those can also include vehicles if you want to get those. So anything, you know, like in the past we've seen grapplers, shadow bombs, shockwave, bouncers, things like that. I know some of those aren't in the game anymore, but those are examples of movement items that will help you move across the map faster, maybe get away from people if you know you're about to die. Because then if you pick up those items and you're in late game and you just want to survive longer so you can get maybe top 5, top 3, or even that win, you want to hold on to some of those movement items so that if you get into a risky situation that you think you might lose, you can use those, get out of there, and you know, wait for a later fight to third party, or just wait to survive longer, because, you know, obviously dying, you would outlast less people. So you definitely want to hold on to those movement items. use your hotbar, maybe 3 slots of your hotbar for movement items, maybe 2 for movement, 1 for heals, and then 2 for guns, anything like that. Just make sure to hold on to at least 1 movement item so you can have kind of a get out of jail free card in a sense that you can have in your inventory if you know you're in a fight that you're gonna lose, or you're in a fight that you don't want to be in, or if you know you're about to get third-partied yourself by somebody else, then you can get out of that situation and you know, regain your health, maybe go back in, or just get out of there completely. And yeah, if you find a vehicle, you might not need to hold on to those movement items at all, because then obviously the vehicles will help you move a lot faster. You won't have to use them up, and they don't count as an inventory slot, which is really nice to have. And yeah. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope these tips helped you out, and if they did, make sure to leave a comment down below and drop a like on the video. And subscribing would be really cool if you want to help me reach some more milestones in the future. I really want to reach 10K. I'm thinking about doing a face reveal. No, actually, not thinking about it. I am going to do face reveal at 10,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me get to 10,000, make sure to subscribe down below for a ton more Fortnite info, leaks, anything like that. Make sure to just subscribe down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Media links are in the description if you want to go check those out. Make sure to hit that notification bell. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.